If 2021 was a free and fair election, I would be president already.
Will this be a free and fair election?
This is not an election to begin with. This is war.
Before he's even inside, we're hearing that sound like live shots. Tear gas in every direction. Tear gas in every direction. It's really become a chaotic scene.
There is just a month to go before Uganda's general election. A crackdown on the opposition is sparking outrage in the country. CNN's Larry Madow recently visited Uganda to see the election build up. He joins me now live. Larry, give us a sense of what's happening there.
Brian, the UN, local and international human rights groups are all criticizing the Ugandan government and President Yoweri Museveni for the extreme violence the opposition is facing just a month before the election. I want to show you some dramatic video from Monday evening in Kampala, the capital, as the 43-year-old Ugandan opposition candidate Bobi Wine is driving past a neighborhood. Police are using water cannon and tear gas against some who appear to be innocent bystanders, market people, traders, even motorcycle taxi riders, boda-bodas as they're known in Uganda and in the region. And many of them were just waving at Bobi Wine or just watching this convoy drive past. And that's the violence that has seen this pop star as he's campaigning across the country. He says the government of President Yoweri Museveni does not want people to see that he's got support, that Yoweri Museveni has lost support after 40 years in power, and that he is the man to lead Uganda forward. We're wearing some flak jackets and helmets in this story because of the violence you're about to see.
This is the man seeking to remove President Museveni from power after 40 years. He has incredible support among the young people. As Bobi Wine arrives, so goes the crowd. There is nothing like it.
Bobi Wine wants Ugandans to sing a new tune. The musician turned politician is running for president for a second time. Nearly twice his age, President Yoweri Museveni is also running for a 7th term. When the former general came to power after a civil war in 1986, Bobi Wine was just 4 years old.
I believe that General Museveni largely views Uganda as his personal property, as his family property, and he views us as slaves.
It is our time to change our future.
Bobi Wine accuses security forces of using violence to stop him from campaigning. At the stop in northern Uganda, supporters formed a protective shield around the candidate as military officers whipped them. One of his closest aides was wounded.
Look at what the police and the military are doing to us for no crime whatsoever.
The Electoral Commission condemned the incident that is now under investigation. He says more than 450 members of his party and supporters have been imprisoned during the campaign, others tortured or disappeared.
Some people have been shot dead at my rally, and I know the regime has me as the main target.
Why won't you be allowed to campaign freely?
Well, I believe it is fear. It is fear that General Museveni knows that he has no support. Every time I go out to campaign, I know that somebody is going to be beaten, somebody is going to be killed, run over by the police, shot with live bullets, and all that.
The UN Human Rights Chief has condemned widespread arbitrary arrests, detentions, and the use of unnecessary or disproportionate force against the opposition. CNN filmed hundreds of police, military, and special forces at Bobi Wine's rallies in the capital, Kampala. They blocked him from using some roads, beat up some supporters, and tear-gassed bystanders.
Everywhere Bobi Wine goes, there's dozens of police officers, soldiers. It always ends up in a scuffle. And right now, they're blocking his way from coming into a rally venue. And that's tear gas. Before he's even inside, we're hearing that sound like live shots. Tear gas in every direction. Tear gas in every direction. It's really become a chaotic scene. And this happens at every Bobi Wine.
Police told CNN that they were forced to use tear gas here to disperse people and clear a busy intersection. They have repeatedly denied that they're specifically targeting Bobi Wine or his campaign.
We all benefit from coming out of this election with the most minimal damage on individuals and property.
There are 6 other candidates running for Uganda's top job, but January's election is largely a rematch between the president and the pop star. In a free and fair election, can you beat President Museveni?
If 2021 was a free and fair election, I would be president already.
Will this be a free and fair election?
This is not an election to begin with. This is war.
Uganda's Electoral Commission has asked law enforcement agencies to exercise restraint and stick to the law while dealing with candidates. Bobi Wine called this election war because he says so many of his party members have been arrested. You see the violence they face every time they're campaigning. And he calls President Museveni, who's been a civilian leader for 40 years, General Museveni, because he says he rules by the gun. He has captured the country, the military and the police, and they do his bidding. So he does not think that this is a legitimate election in the way that elections are taking place in other parts of the world. And the criticism of Bobi Wine and his supporters that they're violent, that they disrupt businesses, that they block roads, and that's why the police use this heavy-handed tactics. They push back on that and they say, we're just trying to campaign. We want to access the roads and go to the same venues like the opposition, like President Yoweri Museveni, Brian, and they don't always have that chance.